My name's Greg Caput. I'm on the Board of Supervisors representing District 4 in Santa Cruz County. And tonight we're hosting a Immigration and Secure Communities Forum. On our panel today we're going to have Local Action Secure Communities, the Latino Affairs Commission Chairman, that's Jorge Mendez. And from our local law enforcement for the County of Santa Cruz, we have Sheriff Phil Wowak. And we'll be talking about the immigration policies that are affecting our community when people are picked up and how long they would be held and whether or not they're going to face deportation. And that will be the panel discussion and the questions from the community. Because we have a lot of people here that we have a lot of families that live in our community, and we want to assure that that our priority is that police and public safety goes after violent criminals, and that other people feel free that they can call the police or call the sheriffs and turn in other criminals that are doing far worse things in our community. So we want people, even if they are undocumented, to feel free and not live in fear, to call in and turn in people that are doing terrible crimes in our community. Thank you. Basically, you know, the way I look at it, this affects South County more than probably any other part of the county. I know I represent everybody here, and I don't want to have a community that's living in fear, and neither does the sheriff, and we got to give him a lot of credit. He is here, and he does have a lot of responsibility, and he has, you know, he's getting a lot of pressure from the state and the federal government to do one thing, and he's trying very hard to do, you know, to also take the concerns of the community in mind. Our priorities in our community are serious and violent crimes. So we have somebody that is here, maybe undocumented, and they're afraid to go out there and turn somebody in that's really doing something very bad in the community. People that are here undocumented, in many cases, their families, part of their family is born here, or their family members that do have documentation. So we have the possibility of fracturing families, and that's what the doctor here was saying earlier. You have kids that go to school, they were born here, they're fine, but they don't know if they're going to go home and mom or dad is going to be missing when they get home because they got picked up for a non-serious crime, and all of a sudden they're being held for deportation possibilities. So the best thing for our community is to create an atmosphere of cooperation with the people feeling free that they can call the sheriff's department or the police department and not be afraid that they're going to be deported just because they don't have documentation. I strongly support the Trust Act, AB 1081, that would allow our county, it would give more discretion to our sheriff and to the county and what they could do. It helps to have state support on all of this. And I'd like to see we're going to explain that. I think the plan we have now can be improved on, but it's a good plan, at least at the time being, and we're going to try to make it a lot better and a lot more heartfelt when it comes to families and community people that live in South County especially.
My name is Jorge Mendez, Chair of the Latino Affairs Commission. Just to give everyone some background, the Latino Affairs Commission is charged with responding to and advising the Board of Supervisors on those issues that affect the Latino community across Santa Cruz County. In regards to opposition to the Secure Communities program, the Latino Affairs Commission strongly opposes the Santa Cruz County's enforcement demonstrate that there are a lot of individuals who are low-level offenders, and many of whom are non-criminals. The Latino Affairs Commission has been involved in meetings with advocacy groups, the Immigration Action Group, and also with Sheriff Wolwack to try to find Santa Cruz County's own response to secure communities. Unfortunately, the direction that we have taken here in this county with Sheriff Wolwack has been to adopt an assessment tool to make a determination as to who amongst the undocumented community will be deported. The Latino Affairs Commission does not believe that that should be a policing function or a police function. It does not believe that that is our community's role to determine who should be deported. We do believe that that is a federal function and that we should not be involved in. The Latino Affairs Commission has also worked to support the Trust Act and has urged the Board of Supervisors to pass a resolution in support of it locally. And in addition, we have also urged the Board of Supervisors to ask Sheriff Wolwack to follow the spirit of the Trust Act to minimize the impact that this program has on our communities. That impact, again, is that we have individuals, low-level offenders or non-criminals being deported. We have families being split up. We have people who do live in fear and have a reason now to live in fear in their communities, are discouraged from reporting crime because of that fear of deportation. And that, we believe, is bad public policy and bad policing. It has an adverse impact on our communities that we do not want in Santa Cruz County, especially in a community as progressive as Santa Cruz County. That is not something that we should be involved in. The Latino Affairs Commission, as I mentioned, strongly supports the Trust Act and will continue to urge the Board of Supervisors to pass a resolution in support of it. And will also continue to encourage Sheriff Wolwack to follow the leadership at the state level in opposition to this policy that causes unsafe communities. Thank you.
My goal here tonight is to clarify any miscommunication or any misinformation with regard to secure communities. To tell you what actually happens in Santa Cruz County with regard to secure communities, both in the past and now moving forward into the future. And then to let you know that the work that's been done so far is not finished. And then finally, to answer your question. First and foremost, let me tell you what the sheriff's role is in Santa Cruz County. Much like the city police departments in our community, the sheriff also has the role of control and law enforcement in the unincorporated area or outside of city jurisdiction. One thing that I have a responsibility for, beyond all other law enforcement agencies, is I am the person that runs all of the county jail system. So regardless of wherever you are contacted by law enforcement, if you're taken into custody, you come to the county jail, which is run by my organization. Where I come into contact with secure communities is in the jail system. So every person that comes into the jail system as an arrestee is then subjected to fingerprints and checked against secure communities. Now, in the field, in contact with a law enforcement organization, no one in Santa Cruz County is subjected to immigration questions, verification of their documentation, or their legal status in the community by local law enforcement. So in the community, the only people that will contact a member of our county and ask about their immigration status would be federal law enforcement agencies. What I'm saying there is that my sheriff's deputies and the police officers that work in the individual cities do not enforce immigration law in the field. We do not ask for your citizenship when you are the victim of a crime or the witness to a crime, and you will not be subjected to any background check or immigration check in the field if you are not the suspect of a crime. Now, if you are arrested for a crime and you're brought to the county jail, that is very, very different. And Karina explained a little bit about secure communities, and I want to correct one piece of information that is actually a little bit different. If you are brought to the county jail as an arrestee, you're charged with a crime. You are fingerprinted. Your fingerprints are not transmitted to a database and become part of the federal database. That does not happen. Your fingerprints are checked against the federal database. And if the Immigration and Naturalization Service wants you because you have previously violated immigration law, then your secure community hold will be enacted. So we do not contribute your fingerprints as an arrestee in Santa Cruz County to federal databases or any other database. We do not tell the federal government that you were arrested. And if you have had no prior contact with immigration officials and you are fingerprinted on our jail, you will not invoke or bring about a secure communities hold because the federal government has not had previous contact. That's a minor clarification. What has occurred in the past, and it is very true, and many of the panel members have mentioned this, is all the communities that have started this program with this information exchange program with the federal government have experienced a number of people who have been arrested and brought to the jail as getting a secure communities hold placed on them and them being deported, even if they were not charged with a crime locally and they had no criminal history. Now that goes against the purpose of secure communities and what the federal government said their role was with secure communities. So in trying to address this issue, I've had meetings with Jorge, with the Latino Affairs Commission, with the Board of Supervisors aides, and we've taken a lot of information from people like yourselves, constituents in the community. And we have determined that we will no longer cooperate with an immigration hold if ICE sends us a hold on someone who is arrested in Santa Cruz County but has no criminal history and no criminal charges pending against them. We will release that person despite that hold and not hang on to them for 48 hours afterwards. Now I've been asked to go further than that, and at this time, I'm not prepared to, and I will not release anyone that is charged with a criminal offense in the jail despite a secure community hold. I feel it is my obligation to cooperate with the federal government and other law enforcement agencies wherever possible, and to create a good relationship that helps us make all of our communities safe. And I do not believe that ignoring all ICE holds and allowing every person that's brought into the system that has an ICE hold brought against them to be released as proper law enforcement procedure. So I won't make that change. But I am going to release anyone that comes into our jail system that is not charged with a crime and has no criminal history. Okay? The last thing I want to mention before we open things up to questions is that this is a step forward, but it is not the final step. I have an appointment with the supervising agent of immigration out of San Francisco on Monday. That person is coming to my office to discuss my changes to our current procedure and anything that we can bring forth to make our community safe. To make the residents of our community understand and accept the procedures that immigration puts forth. Then lastly, what I want everybody to know here is that what Laura explained to you, what Jorge explained to you, what Karina explained to you is true. I don't want to see people in our community afraid to talk to law enforcement when they're in trouble or they're in danger. It's our job as law enforcement officers to help everybody in our community, to make everyone safe. And if fear of deportation or fear of interaction with secure communities puts someone in danger or makes them stay in a home where they're unsafe, or makes them not become a witness to a violent event because they fear repercussions, then we're not doing our job. We need everyone to feel safe and to believe that they can reach out to law enforcement for assistance without that risk of repercussion of immigration status of life. And I want you to know that if you're a victim of crime or a witness
if they are here with documents, they have family members that are here without documents. And so the whole atmosphere of District 4 is affected by what we do, and that's one reason why we have the panel here today. We're searching for a common ground, and we want to make the information go out, and we don't want people to be afraid to step forward, and that we want them to feel free that they can talk with the police or the sheriffs or public safety in general. The sheriffs and the police, they want to do what everybody else wants to see done. They want to go after serious criminals and put most of their time into that priority. And for the federal government and for others to put this other responsibility on really is taking away from what we need them to do, and that is protect people from violent and serious criminals that are out there. So we're doing all we can, and we need public support also. One of the consequences of somebody being pulled in for, I guess, breaking the law, and it's not a serious crime, it's not a felony, is in District 4 and in a lot of places in California, we have people that are struggling, and we have everybody the mother and father are working, and they're trying to pay bills, and it's hard enough for the two of them to pay the bills. But if one of them now, let's say a family, husband and wife and 4 or 5 kids, if one of them is then pulled in and then deported for a non-serious crime, then we have instant poverty on our hands with another family that cannot make ends meet. It could be catastrophic. So we're well aware of that, and that's why we're trying to do everything we can and it's just, there's an old saying, you can tell whether or not you live in a great country by comparing how many people are trying to get into the country compared to how many people are trying to get out. And I hope in my lifetime that I always want to see that people, they want to come here to the United States. And they're coming here for a good reason. They want to work here. And we have to give them a path in order for them to be able to gain residency or to also get their citizenship. So we have to have those programs also. And we have to make it a little bit less complicated for them to do that. And that's my goal. My goal is that we give people the opportunity to participate in the American dream. And let's always hope that we do have an American dream, that dream. They're coming across this border because economically they can't make it happen over in their country. And usually it's Mexico. And they have family down there also. So the opportunity that we offer is something to be admired. And I know that it's abused at times. We have some bad people that do cross the border. But I think it's very important to understand that most people come here with the greatest of intentions. They want to come here, they want to work, they don't want to break any laws, they want to be good neighbors, and those are the people that we have to protect. And and I think the sheriff and everybody else agrees, let them get their priority is to get the bad criminals off the street, no matter where they're born, and whether or not they have papers. South County has one of the youngest populations in the state of California, and if that's true in California, it's true in the country. We have a $500 million agriculture industry in our area and in Santa Cruz County, and almost all of it is located in South County and the Pajaro Valley. So we're talking about people that are working and doing hard labor and hard-working people. Not all of them are working on the farms with agriculture, but the reality is that a lot of them are. And you don't have to have documents to be a good person. Everybody deserves to be treated with dignity and respect, and it's our job that we protect the young people that are living here so that their families aren't fractured, and that we appreciate everybody that's doing a lot of the hard work in our valley that keeps our economy going and really drives and generates a lot of goodwill and money in the economy. So I want to thank everybody for coming here, and I want to just say muchas gracias, no necesitan papeles para ser una buena persona.